This is about empowering people, allowing them to understand that in a democracy, the freedom to make an informed choice is crucial to our well-being, a long life. Being able to know whether organic produce is better than commercially raised produce, taking vitamins are better than not taking vitamins, exercise versus not exercising, positive thoughts versus negative thoughts. You would assume that, well, it would just be common sense and reason. Make the good choices all the time. If we did that, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in today, and we're in a mess. Today I'll be doing an original, in-depth commentary. I didn't have a chance yesterday to do it. I will address it today. The Pharmaceutical Industrial Complex, a Deadly Fairy Tale. I'll be giving the latest on health and healing. I have a new report that is very enlightening. I'll be presenting this report, the original in-depth report from the British Medical Journal, research done at Harvard and presented also at MIT from Peter Doshi on viral marketing, how the special interest around vaccines have created a campaign, quote, and this is from them, to create concern, anxiety, and worry, unquote. That's directly from the CDC. And to give people the idea that, quote, it's a very severe and deadly virus, when there's not the evidence to support that. So today we began to unravel how we got to where we're mandating in New York State. And I can promise you, when it goes mandated here, it will go mandated across the board. First they'll start with the doctors, nurses, and health officials. Then they'll go to the school teachers. Then they'll go to police and fire. Then they'll go into the average person. This is a long-term campaign. They have the power, they have the White House, they have Congress on their side. What do we have on our side? Well, a lot will be determined later today in a court hearing, and then again on Monday in the morning. I'm the expert witness on our side. There'll be a lot of challenge. There'll be a whole teams preparing to see how they can rebut and discredit my information. So it's playing out. It's playing out as we speak. Today, in the next few days, we'll see where all this goes. But I will give you a commentary on this that's important. Then a commentary, if time permits, from Ralph Nader on what planet is Barney Frank from and why that's important. So that's where we're going today. I may have time to take calls. If I do, I'll open it up. I've not had a guest on today simply because we have so much to cover. But tomorrow I'm going to have a very important guest. I'm going to have a doctor on who's an MD, PhD, and probably America, if not the world's leading authority on the danger of thimerosal, the mercury that's going into these vaccines. And you will have a chance to hear from him and the science behind him why the mercury that's being put into the swine flu vaccine and the flu vaccine is not safe. Now to the latest in health and healing. Meat and dairy and breast cancer. Some new findings, and this is from Reuters. Quote, cutting down on processed meats, that would be bologna, salami, any of your processed meats, bacon, and red meat, and that would mean all other red meat, cooked at high temperatures, and by the way, almost all meat cooked is cooked at a high temperature. A hamburger, that's high temperature. A hot dog is high temperature. The meat that's on a pizza, that's high temperature. Roast beef, a steak, all that's high temperature. Grilling, definitely high temperature. As well as high-fat dairy products. Well, let me see, that's most of the dairy products most people eat, including the cheeses, may help reduce a woman's risk of developing breast cancer. This is a large study. Quote, Western-style diets have been linked to breast cancer. The study notes in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, as have meat, eggs, and dairy foods. And so this is what they did. They examined 367,993 women from 10 different European countries participating in the European Prospective Investigation into Cancer Nutrition Study. They followed these women for 9 years, and what they found was this. The women in that study who had the meat, the dairy, and the eggs had the highest risk of breast cancer. So, and that's important to understand that they're now doing this in Europe and finding these associations. Last night I was on the radio late. I was with our not one but two health support groups. Great group of people, by the way, very positive energy. And just intuitively, as I was working with all the people there, I just felt that if there's a chance that a person can really stick with the protocol and make changes, these are the people who are going to do it. And I'm very optimistic at the end of this year, 12 months from now, I'll be able to bring into this studio individuals who've made major improvements in multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, memory loss, graying and thinning of hair, all forms of conditions. A lot of weight loss, too. So it's good to know that we've got good people on board for this study. And then after that, I came back and I went on radio. I was on radio till late in the morning on PFW, helping them. And I was talking about cancer in my documentary, the 4.5-hour documentary on preventing and reversing cancer naturally. And there was a good response to it. And one of the individuals asked about prostate cancer, and I was mentioning what went into helping prevent prostate cancer, and then things like Africanum pygium and what it does to shrink the prostate. Well, that not only helps a person with hypertrophy or enlargement of the prostate, it helps people who have to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom repeatedly. It helps people with prostate cancer. Something that simple, coming from an African green evergreen tree, that can help. But we're now seeing all over the world that herbs and plants, when used in the right way, can make an enormous difference. And what I didn't mention, but I will now, is that pomegranate juice has been able to show very positive benefits with the prostate cancer. Here's the latest on this, and this is brand new from the Journal of Urology. It says, important information has come to our understanding of the treatment of men who have prostate cancer. The findings of the study presented at the 104th Annual Scientific Meeting of the American Urological Association. The presentation described the trial, including men 60 years and older who underwent radiation therapy or surgery to treat localized prostate cancer. After treatment, the men in the study all had escalating prostate-specific antigen, meaning elevated PSAs. Men who fail initial prostate cancer treatment show progressive PSA levels. A 6-year follow-up of the men who drank 8 ounces of pomegranate juice a day revealed those who continued drinking the juice had lower their levels of PSA than those who did not drink the juice. So, when I looked at pomegranate juice and I saw how much of the active ingredient is in the juice, remember 98% of the juice is water. So then I thought much better if men simply took a 200 milligram capsule of pomegranate concentrate, because that's how you get what's in the capsule. They dehydrate the juice, and what you're left with is the powder. And that would be equivalent to drinking a gallon of pomegranate juice. So from the men in this audience, who I'm going to suggest are over the age of 40, get more pomegranate concentrate. You can buy the concentrate in any health food store, or the pomegranate as part of the polyphenol capsules. Look under polyphenol capsules in any health food store. And then if you're really wanting to do something good, take cocoa powder with pomegranate powder and blueberry powder and resveratrol powder all together. And that really is ensuring that you're going to have a dynamically healthy prostate. I remember the day that I walked into an NBC studio. The host of the show was Bob Kane. This is 30 years ago. And opposing me on the forum that day, an hour debate on national radio, was Dr. Elizabeth Whalen, who represented the American Council on Science and Health, which is a very much a pro-industry group. And the question was, is sugar harmful? And she was arguing it is not, and that there was no compelling evidence to support that it was. Well, I had brought dozens of studies showing that it was harmful. In fact, I found a study from the British Medical